The province state maintenance screen is used to set up provinces, states, or other federations that may exist within a country. In our example here, we see on our screen we're prompted for the province or province name. If we had our company set up as a US company, we would see here state, state name. Same for Australia. We'd also see state, state names there also if you've defined the Australian states. If we quickly fast track into country code maintenance, and query upon Canada, we can see in the federation state name the word province. If we had our country set up here for US, we would see in here the word state. So when we come back into province state maintenance, we would see state name if we had set up in our global system this as US. So we're going to execute query and take a look at an existing province that exists. We'll look at Ontario. With the system, we load up Canadian provinces and American states for your convenience in uppercase. If you're working in lowercase, then you could go in and create your own records for all the provinces and states required. We have the province name, country, sales tax registration number. If you populate this will print on the invoices. In some provinces and states, that's required on the invoices. So just by populating it in this field, it will print on the invoice. Next would be your tax description. This is for Ontario PST. Some states might just call it state tax. You might want to put in there ST. Various places on the system where you're prompted for the province or state taxes, you will see PST prompted for if you're dealing with Ontario, for example. But if you're dealing with some other province or other state that has another tax descriptions, the screens will populate whatever you put in this field. Next, you would put in the tax percentage for that province. Now, if you're using a state or a province that has a two-tier tax system, you would enter the second tax rate at this point in the tax percent number 2. Probably in most situations there's only one tax rate applicable in the jurisdictions, so you'd only have the tax percent 1 populated. I'm going to quickly fast track into stock file maintenance and show an example of how the tax flags are set up. For the purchasing system, we can see here where for this particular product it's non-taxable, but if we were going to tax it at tax rate number 1, we would click on this field for tax percentage 1, or we could click it on for tax percent 2 if it was going to be using the second tax rate. So we'll just put it back to the way it was and exit the program. Back to the province state maintenance. The general ledger account field is used for posting to the general ledger where the provincial or state taxes are charged. PST after GST. What we're seeing here is our PST if it is charged after your federal tax system. And in Canada, our federal tax is the goods and services tax. So what we're seeing populated here would be a checkbox if after the federal tax is calculated, the provincial tax is calculated on top of that. In the United States, this wouldn't be applicable since there is no federal tax. Next is whether there's tax on freight. You would check the box here if that was the case. If there is federal tax on freight, you would click this box here. And finally, the treat as GST. This is used, provincial taxes are charged as a federal tax. So in the case of Canada, this is where provincial taxes are remitted to the federal government, such as in provinces with harmonized sales tax, the HST. So for the Atlantic provinces in Canada, you would want to click this and put in your tax percent rate for the harmonized sales tax. That concludes the tutorial on the province state maintenance.